Welcome back to another Infinite tutorial, warrior. Today I'm going to be going over the main menu option, Armory. We're going to dive deep into what it is, our gear system, how it works, and how to purchase gear regardless of where you are on planet Earth. Let's dive into the Armory. So basically you've already signed in at infiniterpg.com. If not, make sure you are either logging in or registering like in a previous tutorial. And once you see the main menu here, you have the options of Adventure, Armory, Education, Transformations, and so on and so forth. We want to click on Armory. And as you can see, worldwide availability and free US shipping. So if you are in the US, you get free shipping on any of the gear that you order. And also, as you can see, we have a gear rarity and quality experience. So these systems are very, very familiar to you if you are into RPGs. We have a rarity system that's very common. We have common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary rarities. But we also have a gear quality system as well to showcase the quality of the materials used for all of our gear. If you're a fan of Elder Scrolls and their quality system and their smithing when you're making armor and equipment and weapons, it's very reminiscent of that. We have normal, fine, superior, exquisite, and flawless quality gear. Now, something that I do want to mention is that all the gear is not available for everybody. Now, the reason why is depending on the gear rarity, you have to have a particular tier. So when you first registered at Infinite, if you registered for free, you are the bronze tier. Bronze tier only has access to common rarity gear. Silver tier has access to uncommon rarity gear, and gold tier has access to rare rarity gear, and so on and so forth. So you have to earn your way to unlocking higher rarity gear. You can't buy your way to getting access to gear. And that's one experience that makes our gear completely unique, is it's not pay to win, right? You can't just buy this. You have to earn it by going through the adventure modes and completing your adventures and your programs, and also earning certifications based on the results that you were able to achieve. So it's a very results driven approach, and it'll take time, right? And you can't just go out and buy it. So when you actually are capable of purchasing and one of these higher rarity pieces of gear, it actually is far more meaningful because you acquired it not just monetarily in buying it, but you acquired it through your blood, your sweat, your tears, your effort, your sacrifice, right? And so that when you wear it and you hold it and you use it during your quests on your future adventures, it means something to you. And that's one thing that we wanted to have here at Infinite, is we want every single piece of gear to be meaningful, just like this Barbarian t-shirt with our Infinite logo on the front and the back. This is meaningful to me because I had to go through a Barbarian program in order to access this. Even though I made it and I have it available, I had to earn it the same way that you have to earn it as well. So wanted to share that. But there's a lot of different types of gear, starting with Fortified Armor. So this is like the heavy armor, right? So these are the jackets, these are the hoodies, these are the hats. And as you can see, you can see our different rarities here. So the gray is the common, the green is the uncommon, just like over here. right? But now you might be seeing like, oh, what's this other stuff? There's stars. So we have ranks for each one of these gear pieces. So each rarity is associated with the rank. So as you can see, common rarity gear has 1 star. Uncommon rarity gear has 2 stars. This might be familiar to you if you played any type of mobile RPG games, right? They have like a star system or a rank system. It's very similar to what we're doing, but we associate the rarity with a star. So you can either look at the color of the gear to determine, oh, that's a common piece of gear, or you could look at the star, like, okay, 1 star, okay, that's a common piece of gear. We give you the option, but we want to have these visual cues to help you in your decision making on whether or not you'd like to invest and purchase one of these gear pieces. Something I do want to mention too is just the naming of each one of these gear pieces. There's also a third way that we also show you exactly what it is we actually show you uncommon. Like we tell you this is an uncommon piece of gear, and it also what this gear piece is for, as far as it's a fortified piece of gear, because it's a heavy piece of gear. We also share what type of clothing it is. So this is a bomber jacket. For this, it's a sweatpants. For this, it's a hoodie. So we wanted to obviously make it obvious. But then we also show the material quality. So again, we have our gear quality breakdown here, if you forgot. So for this is an exquisite quality. So this is a tier 4 quality on this gear piece, and you can see the difference here. For example, fine for the sweatpants, right? That's a tier 2, fine, right? Same thing over here, fine. Cool. Now, there's one more thing, is you also, actually 2 more things. You also see in some gear pieces +2, +1, right? What does that mean? Well, this is the level of what we call enchantments. So this is modifications to that particular piece of gear. So for example, for this beanie, we have it embroidered with our Infinite Warrior logo on there. That embroidery gives it a +1. So in a way, imagine the base gear piece having nothing on it. Imagine there was no logo, no nothing. Then it would just be +0. There wouldn't be a plus anything, right? But since we added the embroidery of our logo on our beanie, that gives it a +1, and it actually gives it a red star. And let me show you what it looks like in how it looks like over here, where we only add 1 modification, so it's +1, even though this is a 2-star piece of equipment. So as you can see, there's a red star and a yellow star. That means this 1 red star gives it 1 modification. Compared to over here, there's 2 modifications, right? What are the modifications? 1, I'll dive into this a little bit deeper. There's a logo on each sleeve and also a logo on the back. So that counts as 2 modifications, compared to whether it was just a plain tee, right, with 1 modification, which for this one, there's a logo on the back. So big takeaway is that the star color and the amount of stars all mean something. So the amount of stars mean the type of rarity, right? Whether the star is yellow just means that it's an unmodified piece of gear. If it's red, then it's a modified piece of gear. Just think of it's like it's more rare, right? If there's a modification on it. Think about it like that. But as you can see, this is the breakdown for the naming convention for the armor. And last but not least here, there's also, it clearly shares whether it's a men's or women's shirt because the cuts are different for men and women. We don't want, a slimmer cut, women focused tee, for example, for men. We don't want men buying that, right? Especially if body types are different and things like that. So everything is clearly displayed either through visually or through text-wise. And of course, if we dive into this shirt, you can dive much, much more deeper into what it looks like, what the modifications are. As you can see, you can dive deep into what it looks like, the different color options, the modifications, how it looks on actually somebody, a human being, as an example, and things like that. You can dive also deep into the details of each gear piece as well, what it's made out of, the quality, how it's constructed, the details, who it's for. And then if you still want to go deep into, what makes this gear piece unique, we also have a clear breakdown of the rarity, the type of equipment it is, the quality, the materials used, as well as the enchantments on this gear piece, as well as the style and the type. So barbarian or men's for this particular gear piece. You can select the size. We have a lot of sizing options all the way up to 5XL. You can choose the color, either black or white, and you can also choose your quantity as well. If you'd like to purchase this gear piece, you can hit purchase over here once you select the size and color. And if you go to checkout, you'll see that if you are based in the US, you'll get free shipping. So that's that gear piece in particular. Let me go back here. And just to show you the other armor options, we have the Fortified Armor, which again is like the heavy armor. We have the Versatile Armor. This is like your t-shirts, your hats, things that you can kind of wear basically anywhere. You can go to the gym in these things, and you can kind of use them in a versatile way. There's the Agile Armor. This is like the light armor. This is the tank tops, the shorts, and things like that. And then you have the Utility Accessories. So we have 3 different bottles and 3 different colors. Again, feel free to dive deep into each one of these. I love the naming personally. Health Potion Red, Magic Potion Blue, and Mystery Potion White. But for the most part, those are each one of our gear categories. And that is basically the breakdown of gear rarity, gear quality, gear types, the naming convention, the different ranks, the enchantments, and so on and so forth. So I hope you are excited about the gear system. Remember that in order for you to purchase gear that's uncommon, you have to actually unlock access to uncommon rarity gear by unlocking the silver tier. So remember, you won't be able to access this gear if you aren't part of silver tier. And at this point, you should be part of bronze tier since it is the free tier. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out about any pieces of gear. Look out for future pieces of gear as well, depending on when you're watching this tutorial, when you're completing it. And feel free to also show off your gear as well. If you do decide to grab any one of these gear pieces, feel free to take a pic, share it on social media, write us a review, and feel free to support Infitnite if you believe Infinite adds value to your life and the lives of others. Everything that we make from our gear gets reinvested right back into Infinite to improve our adventures and improve our programs and improve our processes and systems. So just know that any profit that we do make from the gear pieces that we do send out and ship for free in the US and also internationally gets put right back into Infinite. So you can have the confidence that it's going to not only make you look good, but also support Infinite and what we're doing for all of our warriors. That being said, that's it for this tutorial. I'll see you in the world of Infinite, warrior.